everyone, and welcome to the very first segment of the Virtual Murrow Minutes video series. I am your host, Mackenzie Johnson, and in these weekly Virtual Murrow Minutes videos, faculty, staff, and students will be discussing various topics ranging from frequently asked questions about advising in classes, to student content, to quarantine help, and much more. We hope that you, your family, your friends, your pets, and everyone around you finds the information helpful. So, for our very first video today, two of our Murrow ambassadors will actually be asking questions that they've had about advising, registration, and new policy changes due to COVID-19. After watching this video, if you still have additional questions, feel free to reach out to the Murrow College and we will gladly answer anything that you're concerned about. So, without any further delay, let's meet our two awesome student ambassadors helping us out today. Katie, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, hope you're staying safe. My name is Katie Duncan and I'm a junior at Washington State University this year. I am double majoring in public relations and risk and crisis communication.
And then hi everyone, I'm Ariana. I am a senior majoring in public relations.
Awesome, great. Also with us today to actually answer all of these questions is Megan Starr-Getford, an advisor and instructor in Murrow Student Services. Megan, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Megan Starr-Getford. I'm the Assistant Director for Advising in the Murrow College.
Awesome, great. Well, like I said, we have a great team with us today. Our ambassadors kind of came to us and said, hey, here are all the questions that students are struggling with as we move through all of these new changes with COVID-19. So we took this list of questions and we pulled in an advisor, and we'd be happy to share the answers with you in one video segment, so that way you don't have to reach out to multiple people or offices to get your questions answered. So I think it was actually Katie that had a question about meeting with your advisor. So Katie, do you want to start us off, and Megan can jump in with any answers that you think of?
Yeah, so I actually didn't get the chance to meet with my academic advisor before we left for quarantine. Can I still set up a meeting with my advisor for this semester?
Absolutely. So we're still meeting with students in kind of a virtual format. You can still use the SSC Navigate portal to schedule your appointment. It's going to be really helpful in that portal in the notes section. If you let us know the primary number that you'd prefer that we call you at, you can also request a Zoom appointment. So in that box, if you indicate that you'd prefer a Zoom or a virtual face-to-face, we will follow up with the link that we can connect to during that scheduled time. Keep in mind, if it is a phone that you prefer, a phone appointment, we will be calling you during that scheduled appointment. You can also call our main office number, 509-335-7333, and Rose is still managing that phone line, so she can help book you an appointment if the SSC Navigate software has given you any problems. If nobody answers, please leave a voicemail. We are checking that routinely, and somebody will call you back during regular business hours.
Fantastic. Great to hear that. That's awesome. Related to that, I can't remember, I think it was Ari that had this next question, but it was kind of related to, maybe I've already met with my advisor, but I wasn't sure what my actual registration time was. So I think you were mentioning that, Ari. Do you want to lead off with that?
Yeah, I wasn't sure when fall registration was going to start for the next semester. And where can I find that information about like my registration time and everything?
Great question. That's a really popular question that we're getting. Fall registration actually starts on Monday the 13th, but you can find your specific date and time in your My WSU Student Center under the Manage Classes tab. Within that tab is going to be an enrollment date link that you're going to find on the left side of that screen. It's going to tell you both summer and fall registration times per your priority.
Fantastic. Great. Katie, do you want to lead off with your next question? I know that you and Ari had a list here, so I'll turn it back over to you for any questions that you have after this.
Yeah, so our next question was we want to talk to our advisor just for like a little 10-minute. So are there still drop-in hours for Murrow Student Services?
Great question. So in general, we did go away from the drop-in hours. However, specific for registration questions, we are doing registration drop-in hours starting on Monday the 13th, and we're going to do those for 2 weeks, Monday through Friday, from 1:10 to 2 o'clock on Pacific time. They're Zoom meetings. The link has been published on many of our Blackboard sites, and it's in the Murrow update. We're going to follow up with a special update on Monday the 13th, so you have that Zoom link as well as the password to join us. Rose will be in the waiting room as you are normally accustomed to seeing her, and then she will help guide you to the available advisors during that time. But starting next week for 2 weeks, we are going to have drop-in hours.
That's great to hear. I'm so glad that as an advisor myself that we're having a time for students to drop in and get those quick questions answered. I know that sometimes students have been scheduling appointments and then just asking one simple question rather than taking the whole 30 minutes. So drop-ins are going to be a great time if you have a quick question to kind of pop in. As Megan mentioned, not a time to get your advising hold removed, but just for those quick kind of simple questions. So really glad that we still have those. Ari, I'll turn it back over to you for anything else that might be on your list here.
Yeah, earlier you mentioned that where we can find our fall registration time, we can also find our summer registration time. Is summer courses going to be online as well, or is that going to change?
Yeah, it was just recently announced, I believe late last week, that all of the Pullman, all the campus-based courses are going to go online, but they are still going to be campus specific. So if you're looking at Pullman summer offerings, they're going to be taught at the same time, very similar to this Zoom experience, but virtually. And then keep in mind that all WSU students can enroll in all campuses during the summer. So you can also be looking at those global offerings, which are more self-paced based on the deadlines of those courses.
Awesome. That makes it actually pretty flexible. I think if you're still in Pullman, you're still welcome to take Pullman-based classes. Like Megan said, they're just going to be online instead. So I think what we'll go ahead and kind of navigate to, I think a lot of the questions that at least Ari and Katie had for us that hopefully Megan can help us out with here today is how to be successful in this online transition. I know you guys had some questions about pass fail and withdrawing and things like that. So why don't we kind of navigate into that section, and Katie, I'll let you kind of lead with your questions that you had about that.
Yeah, so I have my junior writing portfolio hold on my account. How can I complete my junior writing portfolio this semester?
So in general, it's always best to direct those specific questions to the WSU writing program, but it is my understanding that if you currently have a junior writing portfolio hold on your account, that means you are scheduled to graduate in May of 2020. Keep in mind that that junior writing portfolio is a WSU requirement and has to be completed in order for your degree to be satisfied. So if you are set to graduate next month, it is important that you follow up with the writing program on how to get that resolved in this virtual format that we're working in right now. For other students who had the hold on earlier this semester, the writing program has basically delayed that requirement for 1 semester. So that's something you're going to want to take care of when you return in the fall. I also like to remind students that please get that done pretty early in the fall so it doesn't impede next spring's registration.
That's great. I think a lot of students are confused and message me a lot as an advisor as well, saying, hey, I have a hold on my account, and they expect me to be able to remove that. So it's very important to get that done early in the fall so you can still register on time, like Megan said, for your spring classes. So that's great. Ari, next question that you might have for Megan.
Yes, so personally, I've been struggling with the now distance learning. Katie, I don't know about you, but I know I have, and I was wondering, is there any available resources or additional support that I can find?
I like to remind students that we're all navigating this new virtual world together. Faculty, staff, and students were all made aware of this change at the same time. So keep in mind, I think just having a little bit of understanding that we're all trying to navigate this together brings a little bit of comfort, at least to myself. But yes, there are many resources still available for you. We try to consolidate some of those and put them on the Murrow website. So if you go to murrow.wsu.edu, you're going to find a list of links right there. Of course, your advisor is still available to you. So if you're struggling with anything in particular, at least send an email, call, make an appointment, use those drop-in hours starting next week, and let us help you. We are still here to support you. And like I like to tell my advisees, I'm here to be your cheerleader. I can't, meet with you in my office right now, but we can definitely get you on the right path.
Awesome,
That's
thank
great.
you.
That's great. Like Megan said, our website lists a lot of different resources, including even how to navigate technology, how to get access to a computer or internet or things like that that you might need as you navigate through this. So really appreciate that Megan brought that up. Our team did a really great job at getting those resources up and running pretty much as soon as we heard about this announcement. So hopefully that helps you out a little bit, Ari. And then, like she said, any additional questions, reach out to your advisor or your faculty members for sure, because we're all, like Megan said, navigating this together for the first time. So it's exciting times. Katie, did you have another question for Megan regarding classes?
Yeah, I did. So what if I think I can't be successful in a course this semester? What are my options for dropping or withdrawing from a course?
Yeah, so it's been a really popular topic over the last couple of weeks. You might have seen announcements coming from the provost's office letting you know that the university has implemented a new pass-fail option for the spring 20 semester. That might be something worth discussing with your advisor as to whether or not that option is a good fit for you. I think every student's circumstance is different, so it's really important to have that one-on-one conversation with your academic advisor. The other accommodation that WSU has made is we have increased the number of withdrawals that a student can use. So again, that's another conversation to have with your academic advisor. One of the variables to keep in mind with both of these options is how they might impact your financial aid or scholarships. So that might also deem necessary that you have a conversation with Student Financial Services. The pass-fail option, you have that ability to request that for individual classes or all of your classes this semester until June 1st. So I think an important note on that is after final grades post. The other thing, the withdraw deadline was pushed back to May 1st. So that's hitting up right against finals week. So you have a lot of flexibility, but again, it's always a good idea to strategize that with your academic advisor.
That's great. I really appreciate Megan kind of touching on both the withdraw piece, which is something that I think students can use at this time, again, after speaking with your academic advisor to make sure that would still keep you on track for graduation, but also pass fail, because we have gotten questions about that, if it counts for major courses, if I can use it for this course, etc. So like Megan said, touch base with your academic advisor. That's going to be the #1 person that's going to know the most about this. There is also an additional website that we will post in addition to this video where you can go read more about the pass-fail options. But the #1 thing that it says on that website as well is to contact your advisor before deciding to change any of that. So I know many of my advisees have reached out to me. I know Megan and all the rest of our advisors have heard quite a bit about that. So please, please, please remember to reach out and talk to us, and we'd be happy to navigate that with you. I think, unless I'm mistaken, I think those were all of the questions that our ambassadors actually had related to classes and advising for now. So I just want to give a big thanks to Megan for taking the time today to answer our questions, and to our ambassadors for reaching out and asking this important information. There are important deadlines and important things coming up that our students need to be aware of, and hopefully with this video and it being in one central place, it's helpful to kind of see that and get those answers in one location. So be sure to stay tuned for our video next week, where we will be sharing tips for being successful in your online classes this semester, as well as we'll also be showcasing some of our awesome virtual work completed by our students this semester. As the classes that are normally in person are kind of done virtually. One that you're going to see from is Murrow News 8, which is a nightly news broadcast that got moved virtually. So that'll be really exciting to see what content our students have still been creating. So until then, be sure to stay safe and stay healthy. And as always, go Cougs!
Go Cougs!
Go Cougs.